Hi everyone, happy 2024. I thought at the start of the year 2024, let me just go back to the basics of Agile, just to help those guys that are starting their new journey as Scrum Masters, or those that have recently joined the Agile slash Scrum teams. So remember, you can find me on LinkedIn as well as on this platform, which happens to be YouTube channel. So let's just get to it quickly. I've just added a coast that I like, that, you need to always remember that you are not a hero. And at some point, you might need assistance. So let's just keep that in mind, guys, as we go along this year, that it is important to ask for assistance when required. All righty, cool. Let's start with Agile, right? Just to explain what Agile is, it is just an ability to build and respond to change in a short space of time. So when we talk about an Agile for framework, it normally just breaks works into iterations, which is also called the sprints, right? And normally these sprints, they run from 1 to 4 weeks. It depends from company to company, but I know most companies, that I have worked for, specifically, and also, Agile. I think if you're starting as a new company, they just recommend that you start with the 2 weeks just to see how you and your team go about it. So obviously with this Agile framework, we are guided by the Agile Manifesto, which has 4 values and as well as 12 principles. Let's get to the 4 values of Agile. So with regards to Agile, they value individuals and interactions over processes and tools, right? Which means when it comes to agility, we communicate more, we collaborate more rather than following a book or a process. So we have interactions with our business stakeholders, we've got our interactions with our customers, we've got interactions in a team as well, just to ensure everything that we do, we understand and we are all aligned, we are at the same page. Okay, so the other one is working software over comprehensive documentation. So in terms of agility, we measure the progress of the team and with regards to the working software. We don't look at, if you were to look at, waterfall, that, the analysis has been completed and we say there's something that we have completed. But rather at the end of the iteration, we try as much as possible that we have the shippable product, which is basically what is being measured in terms of agility. Okay, and we value customer collaborations rather than contract negotiations. Sorry. So we rather have more communication, more collaboration, more contact with our clients, with our customers, rather than us signing a contract to say these are the requirements and we are going to deliver based on the requirements you've given us. We give flexibility to as to, what we can build. If something was valuable, say 2 months back, it might not be valuable in 4 months period. So that is why we've got, a lot of collaboration, communications with our clients. We work very closely with our clients. Okay. And then the last one, it is to responding to change rather than following a plan, right? Rather than we say, this is our project plan, this is what we're going to start with, and those are the requirements. Whenever there is a change, if you can remember very well with COVID, we had to change our ways of work. We had to become more digital. Some of the products maybe that you would find over the counter. Now we had to find ways that we can say, let's be agile, let's be found on a digital platforms. And that's exactly what, agile teams did. So I hope this makes sense. Um, yeah. And obviously there are 12 principles that guides us from an agile perspective, which is the highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. I think I've already spoken to sprints, that when we have sprints in a agile, the whole point is that at the end of the sprint we have a shippable product. So which means we respond, early in our early stages to our clients. We deliver something by the end of the sprint. We may not necessarily take a product to production at the end of the sprint, but at least by the end of the sprint, there is something that we can demonstrate to our clients. We're welcoming changing requirements even late in development, right? So which means if there is something that needs to be changed, it could be just a silly example. Instead of a pop-up, we need to go to a next page. So even at the late stage of development, that is welcomed. Obviously, we negotiate with our product owners to see what is priority, what they see as most valuable from their end. And obviously, we welcome that rather than, the traditional ways of project management. Business people and developers must work together throughout the project. That is why in our teams, we've got a person called the product owner. That person who's a product owner is there, to represent business because they understand what our clients, what our customers, what our end users need. And in a Scrum team, they now become, our business people. Okay. And then the next one is build projects around motivated individuals. So we value people who are motivated. We want, as part of our team, that we have people that are motivated. Our Scrum Masters are there to assist, to ensure that, the guys that are there, they are motivated. They understand what they need to do. They are part of the process. They are part of the team, and the success of the team is dependent on them. And the other one is obviously face-to-face conversations. I know again with COVID, a lot has happened. Now we have been communicating through, our machines, which has been a bit of a challenge, for Scrum teams, because sometimes, it's easier if you have a conversation with a person, with the actual person. They are able to interpret and they are able to reach you at a personal level. So in Agile, that is one of the things that is very, very taken highly too. Okay, and then the next one is working software is primary measure of progress. I think I've already spoken to this when I was explaining, agile versus, waterfall, that at the end of the iteration, we want to have, a working software rather than we say we completed with analysis, now only we can do design. But at the end of the sprint, we actually have a working software, which is the primary measure of the progress from a team perspective. So we try to release something that is of value to a client by the end, of the sprint. And then Agile process promote sustainable development. Okay, so it is advised for all the Agile teams to always go back and maintain their code, ensure that their code it is at the best standards. That is why we sort of, get to hire people that are highly skilled, that know exactly what needs to be done as part of the team. Okay, and continuous attention to technical excellence and good designs enhances agility. Simplicity That's the other one. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done, right? So we want to take the simple one. If there's a simple way of doing things, would rather go for that, rather than looking at complex solutions. Simplicity is core in terms of agile. Okay, so the best architecture requirements and designs emerge from self-organized team. Agility promotes it promotes it promotes Agility promotes self-organized teams, which means that everybody knows what they're here to do. They know what they need to do. They know their contribution to the team, and they understand their value or to the team. Okay. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjust its behavior accordingly. So we've got our Scrum ceremonies, which help us. Oh, sorry, that is if you are using, the Scrum methodology. We've got inspect and adapt, where the team members now will inspect what has went well and what is it that they can improve going forward. So that is also, highly taken into a consideration whilst doing Agile. So I thought, let me just also look at the pros and cons of Agile. Obviously, looking at the pros of Agile, there is frequent delivery, there's adaptability, there is a response to change, customer satisfaction, because we have regular conversations with our clients. Excuse me, there's high on return investment, continuous improvement, transparency, increased collaboration and communication, and there is customer centricity. When I looked at the cons, I thought of, the costing of the project upfront. So there isn't obviously costing of the project upfront, because we always evolve. We look at what seem to be relevant at the time for the customers, and there is obviously less documentation. I know sometimes when there's new people joining, they would like to see a lot of document maybe to go through. But when it comes to Agile, there isn't a lot of documentation, though there is documentation, but it is not as intense as the traditional project management. And the last one, I thought, let me look at how is Agile different from the traditional project management perspective. Okay. So traditional projects are managed using waterfall in most cases, which means that all the requirements needs to be done upfront. So is the budget, right? So which means if there's anything that changes along the way, there's no way that we can make that change unless we start from the beginning, which is gathering the requirements, analysis, and the value to customer is only at the end of the project. Because remember, with now project management, you need to go through the entire requirements, the entire analysis, the entire design, code, test, before you can actually go to the clients, rather than the agility where it's done in iterations. In traditional project management, there isn't that flexibility of allowing change in the middle of, developing, because the requirements and the design would have been done a long time ago. And possible those guys that were busy doing that are now, assigned to another project or doing something else with another client. So which would mean now, there's more costs now, there's time wastage. And should maybe the teams continue with that when they go to production or to the end users, whatever that they've built is no longer, relevant to those guys. So the other thing is that the teams, they work in isolations. there isn't much, collaboration between the teams and the stakeholders, which means there isn't much feedback from the stakeholders, clients, and users, which may result in the product being far from what has been requested from the first place. So yeah, and if there is any major change requirements, it means that we need to go through the entire process again, which may also, break the employee morale, who are actually looking to completing, the project. Now they have to go and restart from scratch. So yeah, I hope this is clear. I hope it will help you and your teams in understanding what is agile and how agile is different from, the traditional project management, which is waterfall. And hopefully you will have a happy, happy, happy 2024. Stay tuned and watch out for, our my introduction to Scrum. Thank you. Bye.